Despair, for I am the end of days. All pale before my might. I seethe with purpose. I am here to lead you.
In those days, we did not know what was coming for us. The nobles told us that his return was just a rumor. But I knew something was wrong. I could taste it in the air. Before any cursed soul willingly joined Chaos, there was LAKOR. What he was before, none can say. The first Daemon Prince, vied for by each of the Chaos gods, and in turn, blessed by them. Albion was the first to be touched by his dark majesty. And this is the story of man's reckoning.
Welcome everyone to Total War Warhammer 2. I'm SurrealBeliefs, and it's been a very long time since I've played the game. I've got thousands of hours and hundreds of videos on Warhammer 1 and 2, but I thought it would be prudent for me to come back to the title before we get into Warhammer 3, which is coming out very soon. So, I've got over 300 mods in my current collection. Did I put it together? No, I'm a madman. However, I'm not that mad. My collection that I'm using here was put together by Flamboyant, a very talented modder, and you can find it linked down below my video description. I do use Kadron's Mod Manager, which I do suggest to any of you who like to mod the game, and make sure that you back up your mods whenever you download them. That way, if one is updated, it will not crash your save file. I've been there, buddy. I've been there. But here we go, we've got LAKOR, but before we look at LAKOR, have a look at all the different lords. Modders are incredible. They're always adding more value to whatever title that you might own. And so if we have time, we'll even play another one, but for now it's going to be all about LAKOR. So let's have a look over here. The Harbingers of Doom, my metal band. Casualties captured post-battle, 25%, so we're going to capture more people so we could let them go. I'm kidding, we're not going to do that. We're going to kill them all. Chance of ambushing any enemy army. Ooh, look at that. So anyone that we attack, we can just show up and be like, hi. What else do we have? We've got +5 to leadership for my own army's faction wide, +5 to melee attack. Sure, all factions hate me, but LAKOR doesn't need anyone. LAKOR is LAKOR, and LAKOR doesn't care. And we also get more money from slaves too. Check out the detail on these units too, I love that. Now, we also got Lord effects for LAKOR in particular. We've got Winds of Magic starting amount +10, and even more speed. We've got over here, what? A few additional starting units, Fem Guards, we've got Fen Beasts, and Blood Letters of Khorne. Now, we have a few new mechanics, and I'm going to find out about a few too, like population and supplies. So it's going to be interesting. Now, what is my goal? We do have a map over here. My goal is to probably burn down the Empire, maybe even Bretonnia. It depends on who crops up, but we'll have one faction that we go after, and that'll be our goal. But we do begin on Albion, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But for now, let's jump in. Now, time to talk about LAKOR. LAKOR was the first mortal to pledge his soul to the Chaos Gods. We don't know if he was a elf, dwarf, or man in the very beginning. Personally, I think he was a halfling who didn't get a second lunch. Of course, each of the gods wanted him, and so they fought over him. I'm sure Tzeentch put down some strategically placed Legos where maybe Khorne would step. Khorne probably hosed down the other gods with blood. Actually, all of my other examples for the gods involves fluids too, so I'll skip those. And over here we have our skill tree. No skill points just yet. We've got over here 65 for a charge bonus, a pretty standard 550 for weapon strength, which is still quite good. He's got a melee attack of 78, which means he's pretty much always going to hit. I mean, he's got a very high chance of doing so compared to many other beginning lords, and he's only level 1 right now. He also has a debuff over here called Shadow. It only lasts for, what, 10 seconds? However, have a look at that. It reduces speed and damage across the board. We've got the Blade of Shadows we can get at rank 11. It'll give us a free spell. We've got over here a nice upkeep reduction at rank 5. The first Daemon Prince at rank 8, so it'll go on and on and on, and will become more powerful until we get Chaos Incarnate, which gives us what? Spread Corruption and Perfect Vigor. We shall never tire of killing. That's really good. So he's got a lot to pick from. Now, LAKOR eventually tricked each god, saying that he would lead their armies, and instead fled to the mortal realm. He was more than happy to get blessed by each god too, and we'll talk more about that later. But we're over here in Albion. Now, there was a Shadows over Albion event for Warhammer Fantasy. LAKOR wanted to get the Crown of Domination, a very powerful artifact that would allow a champion to unite chaos under one banner. However, he had to restore his mortal form to wield it, and he believed that that magic laid somewhere over here in Albion. So that'll be a dominant enemy for us to fight. We've got what? We've got Dark Elves to fight. Is that who you are? The Thousand Maws? We've got some manner of group over here to fight. We've got Conquest. Alright, we'll take them out. Now, these are the locals of Albion over here. Some rather ancient humans. Have a look at their guard, 80 armor. We've got Druid Neophytes. Dual sword infantry, very low armor. However, they do have a magic attack. They've got a warband, and again, some pretty awesome hair. I don't know what product they use, but I don't want to know. Now, let's have a look over here at our own Citadel of Lead. So we're not a horde faction. We do have lands we're able to conquer and hold on to. Now, I could build my unsealed Citadel of Lead. Even the tribes of Albion can't resist the dark emissaries' honeyed words of power and riches that emanate from the Black Citadel. True! Okay, so we're going to take +5 to Chaos Corruption, and we'll unlock many new units, 1,500. Now, I've got a lot of my treasury. I'm feeling okay. And there's also going to be many aspects to the game that I'll need to learn too. There's a lot of mods here that I'm not fully aware of. We've got Army Morale right over here. My units do not need any replenishment. We've got what? Each battle will lower fatigue. If it drops too low, troops will suffer fatigue penalties in battle. Huh, my troops aren't going to tire. No, they are. Fatigue is replenished at the start of each turn. It requires 10 supplies to recover each point of fatigue. I understand. Now, what else do we have? We've got upgrades too. At rank 8, I could turn my Marauders over into what now? Oh, that's really cool. A Chaos Spawn. At rank 6, Chaos Warriors, or over here at rank 2, Chaos Marauders who have great weapons. Ooh, we'll need some good names as they continue to fight. I'll name them as they fight on. Now, not everything can be upgraded, but humans over here, they absolutely can. So why don't we get into a battle? We'll look more at the map in just a moment, but we have a battle to fight right over here. They have 7 units, I've got what, 8. Let's go in. Time for the showdown. Half-naked spiky hair man versus Alpha Chad Demon. Who's gonna win? And here's where I get to operate right now. There's LAKOR. Now, we do have an ambush battle. He's got that chance to ambush his enemies, and so he did. They did not spot him. I don't know how. I mean, he literally has a hot hand. So, let's have a look at the general stats of our mini units, and then I'll explain to you my strategy. Whenever we fight a major battle, it'll be more cinematic, but for more minor battles, I want to really talk about what I'm doing at the time that I'm doing it. But I just want you to look at the detail on LAKOR. What a cool leader. All right, now, we've got over here Demonic Flesh. It looks like we are rather resilient. That's a good thing. 11,208 HP is a lot. We have a weapon strength of what, 550? We have a lot of armor piercing damage. Down over here, we have a ward save, meaning that we'll be able to negate 20% of all sources of damage. Now, for missile damage, add on an extra 5%. We negate 5% of missile damage. So over here, we've got Fear, we've got Terror as well. We can encourage nearby units. We've got over here Chaotic Blessing, a unit ability. It's an augment. It is disabled if our hit points are less than 50% of our base hit points. That may take a while. And we've got Mystifying Miasma for a slowdown, a reduction in reload skill, and some damage too. I'm glad they have more exact information about the actual effects. Then over here, the Enfeebling Foe. A great ability to have. It reduces melee attack, your chance to hit, and melee defense over here, your chance to be hit. And here are our heavy metal enthusiasts. They've got over here 55 melee attack, which is not bad. But more importantly, let's have a look at what they're able to do once they actually hit someone. They've got a flaming attack, magical attacks too, and also on fire as an effect, reducing speed, base weapon damage, armor piercing weapon damage, and finally, furthering a weakness to fire damage. They've got 50 for their weapon strength, but a further plus 15 when fighting infantry. They can hit hard. They negate 50% of all non-magical melee damage. So you could hit them, but they're only going to feel half of it. They are unbreakable. They've got over here Blood Sacrifice. They would lose armor, but then they would gain more melee attack and damage. Very good for taking out some, I don't know, ranged units. And finally, we've got Hideous Appearance, -4 to leadership. Now, what about the Fin Beast over here? So it's like a Chaos spawn. They've got armor-piercing damage, regeneration. Over here, they're magic dependent, providing 15 more leadership. They are unnatural, we know that. 120 weapon strength, a very low melee attack of 35, and a melee defense of 40. They're going to be tossed in there just to mix things up. Then over here, we've got our Surreal Warband. Now, they're not going to last for too long. They'll probably be broken quickly, and I'll go over my tactics once we're done. But here they are now. They've got only 30 armor. They've got, again, a very low melee defense and melee attack. Our quality is not quite high right now. They're not too important. You know about Marauders. We know all about them. It's more important about what they may one day become. But for now, we're going to toss them in. They do have 50 armor and a shield, so that's really not a bad thing. Then we have Boglars right over here. They're very angry. They're here to beat people down. They've got, let's see, minimal stats. They are expendable. And they could also move within shallow water and not have any issues with their movement. And finally, Fem Guards. Now, I wasn't able to hide them in the woods. We can't do that. Not here, not right now, but that's okay because, well, we're going to go out there and we're going to have them fight some giants or maybe some other units. We've got a weapon strength of 160, a melee attack of 60. That's very high for a standard unit. They've got, what, sundered armor. They reduce armor by 30, so they're very good at that. They do have a charge defense whenever fighting large foes. That charge bonus will not impact them. They've also got, again, that armor-piercing damage. So, let's have a look now at what we're going to do. We've got our Gaelic Dragon Ball warrior right over here, Daral Darak. I hope he's not in, like, Super Saiyan 3. That would be a problem. But he's a wizard. He's got, what, 5 armor. 425 for weapon strength, and he's not at a high level. We could easily break him. What do you think our good buddy LAKOR is going to do to him? He's going to make him lunch. Now, they do have a heavily armored unit over here. They've got 40 melee attack. They've got 42 for weapon strength, but a bonus when fighting infantry. They also have, what, 20% for physical resistance. Ooh, they're going to be a tough one. They've got some pretty decent armor, too. They look interesting. I like that contrast from our demons to what they have. Then over here, Druid Neophytes. Again, very low armor, but they do have spells like Shield of Thorns to buff up their own units, and Awakening of the Wood to damage ours. Again, a physical resistance. Back over here, we've got a Warband, and dear God, tiny heads, big torsos. These are some meaty fellows. Do they watch JoJo? I don't know. All right. Now, the Warband, let's see. They've also got a physical resistance. It looks like many units do. They've got 140. They've got Centaurs, too. These guys are going to be a pain because of their mobility and not just their damage in battle. And finally, we've got 2 more units. We've got the Youngbloods over here. They've got, what, Javelins, ranged attacks, 42 for missile strength. That's actually incredibly high. A reload time of 7.2 seconds. So the downside is they're pretty slow at throwing them. However, again, they have a bonus when fighting large creatures in a range of 100. There's the Albion Giant, a pretty standard unit. I'm not too worried about going over what he has going on, but let's get ready now. It is now time to get started. I did rearrange our units a little bit just so that we could face them head on. Sure, we could try to surround them, but I do have subpar melee units outside of a few exceptions, so why don't we let them come to us? And for now, I'll go to them with LAKOR. Oh, he's coming. Oh Lord, he's coming. There we go. There was your best shot, I hope. They did hit one of my fodder units, and there we go. They've got some anti-large, but there's going to be some friendly fire too. So we're going to debuff these Centaurs, and we're about to move in, just not yet. Let's go on and damage them a little bit more. There we go. And we'll let LAKOR have a fun time. It's what LAKOR does best. I mean, if you have a massive hero, if you've got a leader who's able to take some damage, use them, especially early on. But there we go, they're coming for me. Now, what if I could lure them back over to my army? I'm here to really personify all of chaos here. I'll go out and charge, sure, but sometimes I just need to move away. Yeah, my poor Boglars, they're being obliterated by a bunch of magic. Oh my god. Or gods, rather. Yeah, they're even pulling back now. The Centaurs are coming back too. We'll get them in just a moment. Now, let's reverse course and charge back in. We are playing on a harder difficulty, and so things can be a little bit more challenging because of that. Oh, they're busy. We haven't killed any yet. Now we have. There's always like that brief buffer of health, and man, They are chanting a lot. So why don't we begin our process of moving everyone up? So we'll come over here. I'll bring in all of my elite units too. I'm taking more damage intentionally just so that, you know, I could take my time, enjoy myself a little bit. The centaurs are just, again, going crazy. So we're just going to, again, use our enfeebling foe just to debuff them. We'll go after the young bloods very soon. That soon is now. Okay, so I've got some basic infantry units over here. I do not like these centaurs. We'll go after them. I'm not worried about my health at all, as you can well tell. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I'll take some damage. All right, so right now, we've got these centaurs. They are broken. I'm sure they're going to come back. Let's go take out that giant now. And while we do that, we'll go after the young bloods. I want my thin beast to go help out too. They've got that war band close by. I'm going to bring in even more infantry. They've got druid neophytes currently buffed up. We'll go into slow motion only briefly just to kind of check out what's happening right now. So over here, we are attacking that Albion giant. We've got our Fem guards also hitting pretty hard. We did take a lot of damage, but we're doing okay. We're charging in right over here. There's my marauders going after a bunch of neophytes. That's what they are. Now, they have a lot of kills only from killing boglars. Good job. Now, more importantly, I've got my bloodletters right here, too. They're going to be fighting the warband and a few other units. And, of course, I've got my Finn Beasts who will keep the young bloods busy. That's really their primary job right now. And have a look, though. Whoa, that was a great animation. I had no idea we had animations like that for LAKOR. Let's get out of there. That way we can help out somewhere else. I'm going to let my Fem guards go after the giant while I help out where? Ooh. Let's see. Right over here. Let's go help out where the neophytes are at. They're pretty tough. They're pretty brutal. I don't like them. So, again, we're always going to use magic. Magic wherever possible. We could use it on the giant, but actually, I don't like these centaurs coming back. They did flank us. That's all right, though. We're beating them. They are now pulling back again. Man, still faith. I forgot about the balance here. It's always a challenge, but check out. That was a great animation. We now have a few more kills. Those guys are much tougher than I had anticipated. That's really the big part. I've got to learn the overall balance for Still Faith again. Now, we did take out the young bloods. They'll probably be back. I'm not too worried about their guard yet. I know their leader is still fighting over here. We'll go after him too. Did we break them? Did we get them? I think we got them. We got the centaurs. We got neophytes here running away. We'll go get rid of their leader. He's now wavering. The Albion giant has been broken, so we're able to finish them off right now. We're gonna check out the bloodletters as they go after what? That Hearthguard. Right over here. Alright. Let's go surround them while we let LAKOR go after a few more. We're just watching out for maybe a few units who might try to hit us, but there we go. They were waiting. They were waiting, and they are not doing well. They are now being surrounded by just so many different units of what I have here. The bloodletters, I mean, again, I knew that they would be our cornerstone, but they are. Over 120 kills. The Fem Guard, they were good too. Only 13 kills, but they were fighting tough stuff. The Finn Beasts were able to keep them busy. And we're just going to chase after what we can. We'll go after their elite unit. They are shattered. I don't care. Let's go after their leader. Oh, imagine your first foe. You're like, you know what? I'm a crazy Gaelic leader. I can beat them. And then that guy shows up. What do you do? Oh, I guess you die. All right. Well, that's over then. We beat them. Man, they took some serious damage. So, beyond really their neophytes, only one other unit did a lot of damage. The warband. I'll need to keep that in mind. But then again, they were fighting boglars and, well, boglar gonna boglar. They're gonna die. That's what that means. So we did lose 315. They lost 310. Now, we've got our options. We could sacrifice. I do like doing that. It's how I keep looking young. We could kill them, sure. That's an option. That would give me some more weapon strength. Or we could do my favorite. Replenish. I've got to rejuvenate a bit. Alright, we'll take that. Now, be gone, you. I've done what I needed to do. Now, I'll go back for them in just a moment. So we gained someone new, a Berserker. Plus 10% to weapon strength anyway. Well, that's great. I've also gained a new talisman. Very shiny, a slave chain. Well, I'm sure I've got plenty, but thank you. more leadership when fighting the Empire, and more income from sacking settlements. Then what's over here? I did beat Daral Darak, which gives me plus 10 to my Winds of Magic starting amount. That's a lot already. I mean, I've got a trait already. So, rank 2 is where we're at. Now, they've got to get rid of Route Marcher in my view. Whether it's for 3 or 2, because, I mean, pretty much everyone picks it up. You kind of have to. Over here would be Whispers in the Darkness, plus 5 for my melee attack when fighting against humans, and look at that, a Hex, an area Hex. Does anyone else remember the Hex girls from, you know, Scooby-Doo? Oh man, that caused me a few issues. I was like, well, now I have a type. Thank you, Scooby-Doo. Alright, Eye of the Gods. We will be attacking a lot, so why don't we take that extra weapon strength, and also, we get more melee attack from my entire army. Let's have a look over here. So, our fatigue is going up just a bit. What do we have now? More morale? We are tired from fighting, but we did gain more morale from winning a battle. Well, I feel pretty good about that. Are we going to push on? Absolutely. It's great training. It's how we become more powerful. And I did it again. Alright, so I think I shall auto-resolve. It's what I do. They're gone now. And I'll take a bit more replenishment. Just as much from before, but I only lost 31. And I gain a few slaves too. Alright, so I've got a student here. Imagine a nerd being like, "Excuse me, LAKOR." And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" "Can I learn from you?" "Yeah, sure, why not?" Obsidian Blade. Ooh, that's a strong one. Look at that, 100 armor-piercing damage. We already have our magical attacks. We've got more weapon strength and more melee attacks. So already we have become the Juggernaut, the Bellonaut, the Garlic Knot, my favorite. Alright, so we don't really want to worry about the blue line. I mean, I could, sure. Would it benefit me in some ways? Yeah, why not? But is it cool? Would cool kids do that? No, I don't think so. Alright, so I could buff up my rather weak units, but I think I want to come over here real quick and grab that. Thankfully, we do get more skill points. We are using a mod list here. I'll take that too. I'll get my magic again later, but for now, it's all about getting swoles. Swoles? Gains. Gains to be swole. Ha! There we go. Alright, so we're gonna march now right back over here, just so we can kind of chill out and take our time in our Citadel of Lead. The water here is wonderful, by the way. Alright, so we've got what? A province? No workers, right? We have no one who wants to work here. No dissidents, good. I ate them. No racial bonuses applied, interesting. That's for the entire region, by the way, on the right-hand side. Migration is possible. I've got to learn about the inherent balance here. Over 9,000 dissidents. What do we have? Alright, so we've got mighty and terrible monsters. These creatures over here are drawn from the population of Chaos Worshippers. Oh. Then we've got professional warriors, alright. We've got a decent amount. 75 soldiers per turn. Then, the best of the best. So these are my elites here, my pool that I can draw from. I could export food. We are nourished. So I probably don't want to do that. I like where we're at right now. Our province is doing okay. Now, I could request additional slaves, but I have only one town, so it doesn't really matter. And we do have our one building too. Now, for research over here, I've got a few options. I think really, what I could do, I could work on enhancing my overall capacity to just keep the peace here. So I think what I'll do, I'll worry about public order issues or disallowing those issues, and I think that's a pretty good idea. Now, finally, before we end our first turn, we've got to have a look around here. The Truth Sayers, they're about to be done for. We've got Ugma. Oh, he's way down over there. Well, I'm not too worried about him. The Bjornlings over here. Snagir the Terror. Okay.
Born to command.
And Rakarth. Right. Okay. I like your mask. I'm gonna use it as a toilet. A little bit of water will shoot out from it. I'll use it as a bidet. It'll be wonderful. So we'll go after them in just a bit. And Bellicor is about to smash. All right, Boudica. About to smash that boot. Now hold on. Before we end our turn, we need to get some Uber Chads over here. All right, so we've got the Ever Wardens. They are Chaos Warriors who have great weapons. They've got that beautiful weapon strength at 50. A magical melee attack. We've also got the Skull Rippers. All right. There we go. 55 for weapon strength. And I think that's really going to bolster our forces. That's really what I'm going to focus on right now. My income is not very high. I could potentially pick up another group. Like over here. Marauder Horse Masters. You know what? We'll take them. There we go. I'm losing 71, but is that really a big deal? No, it's not. I did march over here, so I've got to hold on now. We are fatigued. We need to take our time, and eventually we'll go back into battle and hopefully come after Conquest. A good bit of our army is now patched up. Over here at the Citadel, we have 1 turn to go, then a lot more corruption that's going to come in. So LAKOR, let's come over here. Oh, we're not going to make it there in 1 turn. Well, that's okay. We'll come over here. I'm hoping that maybe they'll bring out another leader. Yeah, there we go. Morrigan, the Phantom Queen. I'm sure you know about Morrigan. Where's King Arthur? I'm waiting for him. Oh, wait, he's way over here in Bretonnia. But he's totally not King Arthur. Alright, so now we could get a few scouts, and they're actually not bad. Neither are the Marauder Hunters. I mean, look at that missile strength. But the scouts over here, they've got 50 for missile strength, which is really good. What about their armor piercing? Oh yeah, 12. A bonus on fighting large creatures, plus 15. That's incredibly high. I've got to take them in. So we've got a lot of monstrous units here. We're going to lose a bit more income. But I think for now, I'm going to take them on. I could use some ranged units. I could use more melee too, but that's fine. So now we're going to end our turn and get ready to go after Conquest. We'll need to rename every location too. I'm going to assume that they probably have a lot of units in their garrison. So I could use something really powerful. I could bring in a dragon. What about a chaos giant? That would be a lot of fun. 590, I would lose even more, but I could always get rid of them for a bit of time afterwards. I just need one thing right now to really make a difference. You know what? I'm going to pick up our Reavers of Night Faith. They're a group of chosen, 120 armor. They have a 60% chance to block all small arms missile fire. Well, that's going to be good. They could discourage our enemies, and they have a chance to deal a bit more damage. And over here, we've got Cole the Weak. Imbues fire damage. Disabled if leadership is wavering. Well, we've got to avoid that. But now we are ready. They're going to have 3 lords. I could go after this guy first. He is rank 4. Or we could allow him to stay for more of a challenge. Sure, why don't we do that? Let's go say hi. Let's have a look at our new units over here. First off, I do love their color scheme. We don't get to see enough blue. 110 for armor. They've got 50 weapon strength, a lot of armor piercing. They are unbreakable as well. 5% of that physical resistance. What about our other friends too? Ah, there we go. The Chosen. 120 armor, as we did see before. They've got what else over here? Really not too much else we need to worry about, but they do have an extra charge defense, which again negates any charge bonus. That's really powerful. And a fire resistance too, which could come in handy. They do cause fear and terror. I mean, they are a mortal unit, but they're able to do that. That's going to be really powerful. So here's my plan right now. I've got LAKOR over here. I've got my more elite units over here on my left flank. We're going to see who's going to pop in. It's probably going to be that Lord. We'll beat him quickly. I do have my scouts close by. Let's check them out real quick. They're pretty ugly. They're meant to be. We're not here to win a beauty contest. They've got, again, 50 missile strength. And it looks like they are expendable. They've only got 40 in each group. They're quite small. So a monstrous missile unit. Then we have our Boglars. Our Boglars are just really here to negate any enemy efforts. Maybe they'll use spells on them. Then finally, I've got my other units way over here just waiting. My Marauders and others. That should be handy. So now we should be ready to fight a battle. Who is over here? There we go. One little wizard. Is he going to be okay? I don't think so. He's going to use a spell right now. Ooh, look at that. A missile spell. And it did deal a lot of damage. Good for him. It's quite interesting how much damage those spells use. We could use a bunch of our ranged attacks to beat him up a little bit too. Let's leave it alone. We dealt some damage, but now we're going to leave it alone. So after that, we're going to let LAKOR finish him off. Then we'll get ready to go after other targets. It won't take too long. I mean, he's LAKOR. What are you going to do? He's already terrified. He's already having a really bad day. He's like, I came to aid. Nope, you came to die. That's what happens here. The Giga Chad is once again just pile driving right through him. He's got what? 24 armor right now. LAKOR still chasing him. Oh, what a headache. He's already broken. And you can see that there are a few units coming to say hi to us. They are over here, but we're going to wait for them. Now, these are half giants. We could use our scouts to go after them. Let's go do that real quick. We are in a skirmish mode, and we do have anti-large. Now, they do have a chieftain, so I want to go fight that chieftain too. Yeah, that's a really good idea. Let's get all of that together. I could bring in my Fem guards as well, but hold on. Let's have a look at these half giants. Oh, they're really cool looking. I really want to play Albion now. Look at how cool that faction looks. I don't know why, but it really fills a certain niche for me for the human factions. 25 armor, at least not being typical Norsemen. We've got a Gaelic theme going on. Now, they do have a large army. I've got to watch out for that. We are moving in just a little bit. We are going to get ready over here. They're moving through some water. That's a good thing. Let's get together a few more units and see if we're going to be able to break them apart. That's the play. That's the plan today. So my Boglars, I'm going to bring them up. We're going to use our attacks right now to go after them. Let's do that. LAKOR, if you want to move up too, here's your shot, your opportunity. There we go. They're taking only some damage. Now, see, I could just use my Mystifying Miasma to slow them down. Let's do that right now. The Fem guards are moving in. I'll want to move my scouts around. They didn't get a great opportunity to attack, so let's move them away for now. But, again, I've got these anti-large Fem guards, and they're going to do a lot of damage. I'm going to have LAKOR also move in right now. That's going to do a lot. See, we're still watching out for the main army. I'm playing a live battle again. It is a larger battle, sure. However, it's not large enough, I think. But that's alright. Alright, the half-giants. Let's see. They're losing it. Let's debuff them a bit. They've got, what? A minimal amount of melee defense and melee attacks. So already, the Fem Guard, they're crushing it. They're doing it. Okay. So we did that. We've got another phase to our battle now. We just need to follow them for a bit. I'm sure they'll be back, though. They're usually back. They're countercharging right now. They came back, and they are buffed up. So what are we going to do about that? It's pretty simple. We'll get LAKOR back over here. We'll go fight them. My poor Boglars. But they knew what they signed up for. They knew what I signed them up for. Alright, here comes the main army. They do have a very elite army, so we do need to watch out. They are using a lot of spells over here. That's a good thing. The half-giants, again, are broken. They could come back, but they have lost a lot. LAKOR had a really fun time beating them up. And right now, the Boglars, well, they're around. Surprisingly, they're somehow around right now. Alright, so I've got some units over here. They're all hidden. We've got more elite units right over here in the middle. We're going to bring them in just a bit of time. We just need to wait for them to come back to us and have a look. They're already wavering and shaken, so they're going to come back again. And let's just use up a bunch of their magic. We're able to do that. We could just pull back a bit and let them come to us. That's true. Let's do that right now. And while we are doing that, we'll come over here and go after the half-giants again. Boglars, if you want to go up. Oh yeah, they're using a lot of spells. Alright, there we go. The half-giants are about to fall apart. They're dying quickly. There's very few of them left. We do have other units now moving in that we've got to watch out for. They do have spears, so we'll go hit them right now. We'll go beat them up right now. So the Boglars, they're going to move back in. I've got these scouts over here. I'm going to put them over here to attack whatever they can. Let them just go after what they can. I want my more elite infantry units over here on my left flank. I'm going to move in my horse masters right now. I've not played Total War in quite a bit of time, so it's been fun to kind of get used to the tactics and relearning how to play again, really. I know the basics, but there's a lot more I need to know. I might lose a few of my Fem Guard, but right now we're holding on. We're dealing some damage to these neophytes and other friends that they have. It's a pretty large battle, so I'm going to have to like slow down here and there just to kind of keep track of what's happening right now. So let's go. Let's see. Scouts, if you want to move up, we've got over here some more units. We'll go after these Sword Maidens who have a lot of kills. And again, my Chosen, they're using another spell to do a lot of damage. I'm going to bring in some lesser units. That's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to bring in some lesser units to come help out. We're going to bring out my other lesser units, my basic infantry, and we're just going to see what we could do with that. I'm going to bring out my horse masters to go after the huntresses right over here. Let's go do that. LAKOR and friends, they're fighting. My bloodletters are taking way too much damage, so it looks like the spells are doing a lot. And so let's come back over here. I know I'm going back into slow motion, but again, it's a quick battle. It's not going to be a long battle. It usually never is. So we also want to go flank them. Let's go do that. We'll come over here and flank these warband members Got another group close by. We'll go after that warband too. Let's see, what else do we need to go after? We need to go after that group. Got another group over here of ranged units. Oh yeah, we'll go hit their huntresses and other friends. LAKOR might be alone for a bit of time. The Fem Guard, they're going to be here, but it's a tough one. It's a really tough one. So while they're doing that, let's have a look again at my Chosen. They're fighting the Sword Maidens. My Bloodletters have over 60 kills. My Disciples, they've got a few kills too. My Scouts, well, they're busy. They're trying their best right now, so have a look at that. They're throwing their weapons over here, but they're not dealing too much damage. There's very few of them, so I had a feeling they wouldn't be able to do too much. I'm hoping for more, though. Let's go after that Chieftain. He's a large unit, so we could hit him. Let's go hit him right now. I could instead go after a few other units too, like that other warband, but let's go hit them very hard with their leader who needs to die. If he dies, we'll be okay. We'll feel all right. I'll come over here and send out a group of my Thin Beasts. Yeah, see, look, we can move closer. We need to get rid of that skirmishing mode. My Bloodletters might get torn apart pretty soon. Let's come back over here. I'm going to leave that slow motion for right now. So it's going to be a bit messy now. It's a darker battle. It can be hard for me to see what's going on from time to time. So what do we have going on? Did we beat them all over here? We did, actually. So now we can come over here and hit a few more. Let's go hit a few more in that group. Okay, so I want my Horse Masters to go after their own spear units, but we're going to get everyone to attack them together. We'll come over here and fight a few more of them. We've got, let's see, our elite infantry who are still attacking. We'll get my scouts to keep on attacking where they can. My Bloodletters are unfortunately losing it. Let's have a brief look over here. So we are beating their great weapons. It's taken a bit of time, but we are doing it. So you're seeing how I'm hitting them at various points right now and defeating them. My Fem Guard actually didn't lose a lot. They really didn't lose a lot. Okay. So now many are shattered. We've got Morrigan, who is still very much around. I'm going to have to go beat her up too. Time to slap her around. The Chieftain, he's around too. We'll go after the Sword Maidens who are fleeing. I'm going to have my Chosen go after some type of unit around me. Let's have a look. No, most are now broken, so it looks like we're pretty much done here. We just need to chase after a few units who might be coming back. So here's what I could do. I could put everyone into an AI mode just to let them go do what they need to. That way they're chasing something. I'm not having to worry about idle units nearly as much. Now, for these scouts over here, I'm going to bring them over. They don't need to do too much. For my mounted units, we want to go after something just to kind of get a bit more experience. We could go take out Morrigan. It looks like, again, the Bloodborne, my Bloodletters over here have only 5 left, but we did beat her. She's right there. She had a lot of spells, but we're going to try to take her out. Let's try to get her. She has 41 kills, but we finally won the battle. It was a pretty brutal one, but you saw how we were able to also use the water to slow them down. They came over here. That meant more to me than to them. I had larger units to move around with, and it worked out. So LAKOR killed 50. He was busy in that battle. He was able to kill 50 of them. So now we're just going to chase after a few units who are just fleeing. That's all that we need to do. And bringing in these more elite human units, I mean, that was a really good call. The Chosen didn't get a lot of kills, but they were able to hold for a long time. That high armor is a great counter to what they have. I didn't see a lot of armor piercing for them. So we're done now. We've won the battle. Okay, Conquest, we lost, what, 450? They lost over 1,000, so already we are surpassing them. Now, we could pillage and enslave. If I do that, they're going to be unhappy. I would gain more slaves. But again, that's a lot of replenishment, and also a lot of plunder too. Enshroud. Oh, okay. I like that. No, we're gonna pillage. That's what we're gonna do. Now, I'm rank 4, or LAKOR over here is rank 4. I don't remember being a demon. I don't know, could be true. So we've got over here, recruit rank +4 for all units, and even more magic resistance, which we need for fighting these guys too. That's a really good one to have. Now, we've got Hearts of Iron. That would reduce a bit of fatigue, but not a lot. I mean, is 10% really worthwhile? I'm not really sure about that. Albion Warbands. Oh, I'll be able to pick up some. That's really cool. We've got a lot of options over here. I could also pick up, again, even more melee attack. I like doing that a lot. But what about a larger Alpha Striker? Even a few more spells or enhancements for my spells over here. I've got other options too. I do like my spells, but let's go after that devastating charge. 95 is a lot. There. Okay, I got my slave worker. Got a few of those going on. Time to enshroud. That's a bit of damage. I won't always do that because it's rather expensive, but we'll do it right now. Interesting. So I'm able to abandon locations. We've got over here the ruined Ogham Stones. +2 to public order, more corruption for my faction. Winds of Magic Power Reserve +5, and more income from all buildings in the province. Whoa. No more slaves over here. Bring them elsewhere. We're going to repair that. I've got the funds for it. We also want to maintain the peace over here. We're going to take our time and we're going to do that. More population capacity, but what about dirt mounds? That could be good. 3 Fem Guards. Well, I got to take that. It's rather cheap too, so we'll take that right now. Their little leader, well, he's in trouble. He's pretty beat up. I'll need some time because we'll want to build up and go after the Dark Elves over here. After that, we'll need to think about where we want to go. We've got many options, and I've got to consider where we want to go. But we've done it. We've taken out a bunch of these Gaelic warriors, and they're in bad shape. When it comes to what I have over here, we need to what? Not have our... Oh yeah, look at that. Our fatigue, it's quite high. We need to reduce that issue. Our morale, we need to watch out for that. Oh, interesting. So we actually have ammo that we need to resupply. It's not just like we could fight a battle then come back. These are great ways to prevent you from cheesing the game. Oh, I like that. That's really good. Heck yeah, man. Oh, that poor guy. He's like, you know what? I'm done for. All of my people are dead. You love to see it. And he's gone too. Oh, look at how quickly we're moving. Beautiful. Evil empires were moving quickly. Capacity system. Okay, so Grimhammer lets you decide how your campaign will play thanks to the cap system. You can decide which cap system you want to use. Faction-wide caps enables a system similar to the Tomb King's. Interesting. Army caps over here are what? How many unit types you can have in a single army depending on points. I do like that just because it forces you to use a balance here. But they do say that maybe I should use faction-wide caps. Alright, we'll try it out. I've got my Chaos Renegades too. The Dark Gods have left the Famir to die. Now the Famir have a new master. Ooh. Alright. We're gonna have a major rebellion soon, so we're gonna chill out over here for a bit. We need to, I think. Ooh, Eons of Spite. Upkeep down by 8% and a cheaper recruitment cost. I'll take it. Then another point over here, plus 30 to my charge bonus. That alpha strike, that initial strike, is going to deal a lot of damage. I'm already at 694 for what I have. Let's check on what we have over here too. Okay, I've got my worker. I have no armor. That obsidian blade is doing a lot of heavy lifting right now. That's really cool too. Alright, so what about more technology? I've got to pick up stuff over here. That's going to keep the peace. I do like growth, sure, but I want tyrannical rule. There. That way we gain a bit more public order. We need to maintain a bit of peace, I suppose. There are dissidents over in Conquest, or the Dark Temple, as they're called. I should probably import a bit of food. What about over here at my Citadel? Well, people are hungry, I suppose. I have only one area, so I've got to work on that too. I've got to work on a bit of food supply for them, and that'll take time. We do need more growth. I was rather cruel, and I'll go after the Dark Elves in just a bit of time. Alright, so now we're not losing any money. That's great. If they want to rebel, let them. I'm gonna have a fun time fighting them. There's our first rebellion. Well, good. I wanted you to rebel, you bunch of nerds. They're like, yeah, man, we don't follow your rules. And I'm like, I don't have rules. If you want to rebel, that was always an option. Oh, check out their mini units over here. Dude, I'm telling you, since I took my break and I've come back, I'm in awe of the sheer amount of what we have here. So let's go beat them. Let's go do that right now. We've got to. And it's an ambush. A rather easy one for me. We've got Fem Guards over here, Chaos Warriors too. It's going to be a very simple auto-resolve. We don't need to fight that out. That was a very easy one, which means, again, more replenishment. If they want to do it again, let them. Evidently, I'm bold. We've got to think about a new goal too. My goal is also to level up LAKOR. I've got to level him up. The stronger he gets, oh, the better off we're all going to be. I could give him more armor. More melee defense could be handy too. But what about just making him so mighty in combat? He's going to come out there just hitting everyone with an accurate hit. Accurate and precise. Okay, so they dealt some damage. Not a lot of damage. We're still building up our walls. Dissidents are still an issue. We still have got to watch out for that. But I'm going to take care of it. It's going to take a moment. Alright, so we've got a temple city over here. Still, by far, too many dissidents. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to kill them. Let's do that. We don't need workers right now. Let's just kill a whole bunch of people who don't like me. I think that would be a fun idea. No, it really depends. See, if I do that, I wouldn't have anyone left. I could expel people, but they're also very unhappy. I'm going to have to balance things a little bit. But thankfully, it looks like our province now has a bit more food. That's a good thing. We'll take our time. I mean, here's a great way to slow down the gameplay and to really think about what we're doing. And I'm sure I'll learn more about that mod to become even better with it over time. Who the hell are you? I don't want you. I don't like you. Yeah, I'm going to have him killed later. And that later is now. Perfect. I love being able to do that. I got rid of my scouts for right now. I don't have my blood letters, which is rather unfortunate, but that's okay. Now the cool part is I could recruit a few local units. It's interesting because I'm killing off everyone who doesn't like me. Pretty soon everyone's going to be happy. Everyone's going to say, hey, look, we're happy to be here. And you just need to ignore the fact that I killed everyone who's unhappy. I'm just doing it to ensure that people aren't fighting. Infighting. You've got a dragon? Very fancy, by the way. Well, I've got to kill you. Now she's gone. I'm losing only a bit of my favor, but that's alright. Alright, so I'm rank 7. I'm only getting 1 point now. Here we go. We could reduce enemy leadership and gain more chaos corruption. I like it. I'll take it. So we'll come over here. That way, on our following turn, we'll be able to go after our enemies over in the Isle of Wights. If I sack it, I'll gain a lot. Vanguard deployment. You know what? Let's wait over here. I'm going to use the mist to hide. Pretty good movie in black and white, by the way. Alright, so we're losing a bit. We've got slaves who are dying. It happens. I'm not too worried about it. My treasury is looking alright. I've got some background income. Let the games begin. The Dark Temple. My people are distracted. Great. We've got our fighting pits and there's enough blood. So we got +5 to public order. Cool. The minor factions are being destroyed. That's always going to happen. They've got over here Yondis. I love what you're wearing, by the way. It really brings out your best features, Yondis. I'll look over yonder while I murder your people. Ooh, that's a pretty big garrison. Okay. I could auto-resolve it. Yeah, sure, but I did gain a hell cannon whenever attacking that rebel army. That worked out to my favor. I want to be careful, though. I don't want to destroy too much in that area. We're still getting +1 to our public order. That's really good. When it comes to technology, I'm picking up right now Court of the Dark Master, because one day I would like to pick up the Dark Master's Ascension. That way we could really encourage the growth of many of our demon-based units. Though again, having some growth in other bits too would be great. Like more income after fighting a battle, or just doing basic upgrades for basic units. Like over here, I'll probably grab Dark Magic. Yeah, right after my court over here, I'll grab Dark Magic. But for now, let's just come on over and say, goodbye. Now, I've got a lot more magic than usual, and we do have a Hell Cannon, so we're going to begin over here and just take our time. We're going to creep up and just hit them with my Hell Cannon. I wonder how it operates over in Still Faith. I don't really know, but we want to go after probably their Dark Shards. That armor piercing can be brutal, so we want to hit that. We want to annoy them. Just get them right over here, and there's our first attack. Come on, hit something. There we go. It dealt some damage. Now, if we want to take our time and just hit them a lot, we're able to do that. Here we go. Boom. We'll use boom right now. A very sacred technology. All right. Our totally not a penis cannon is going to continue to do that to these dark shards over here. Once they're stationary, they're going to take a few more lumps. Oh, what a gorgeous fight. Here it comes again. It's landing. It's coming down. Not quite where it needed to go. Now, if they want to run up and hit me, I've got my Boglar. My Boglar will have a good time. No, they're not. They're screaming right now.
Please help us.
No, no one's going to help you, Boglar. There is no help where you're going. Now, I am worried about the Harpies. The Harpies are very annoying. I don't have really any ranged units to use. And I could have auto-resolved, but that would have been way too busy. As we know, auto-resolving doesn't always indicate how a battle would actually play out. And so if I find that it's way too skewed, and I could afford a loss. Like right now, if I lose, sure, that would be bad. It would take some time to rebuild, but I could do it. It wouldn't be the end of our campaign, probably. I mean, don't quote me on that, but we'll see. Oh, their waves are on the way. All right, so again, we're going to use LAKOR in the very beginning. It's what we do best. It's how I handle my issues in life. If I've got someone who wants to come bother me, LAKOR. Having a bad day, summon LAKOR. Got to pay your taxes? LAKOR. Well, no. He won't even help me then, but... All right, let's come over here right now. But in most general situations, yeah, LAKOR. Yeah, see, right now we're just going in to go bother a few Corsairs. Let's have a look over here. See, the Boglar, they're taking their lumps right now. They're meant to. My Hell Cannon, they're okay. We need to probably come over here and go after their riders. Right over here, where they've got riders and harpies that are moving up. I've got my more elite units close by. Let's get ready for them. I've got a few more infantry units also close by. We could easily hurt them. Skull Rippers, if you want to go out, go do that. I'll bring out a few more units too. So after that, what? My Boglar, they can move up and go after Corsairs, take even more damage. I've killed 57 right now. Am I really worried about my enemies? Not really. I'm going to go after a few more of them. I am watching for those on the right flank until my Horse Masters get here. They're going to be a great deal of help. We'll come back over here and just have a brief look. See, LAKOR, he's got one kill. He's busy. He's over here just kind of keeping them very busy. But look, they had a huge buffer of health. What I mean by that, look at that chunk of health gone. Eventually, once you get them down low enough, they begin to drop in number. And also, if we want to, we could just debuff them. Did I need to debuff them? Probably not, no. I don't need to do anything like that, but I chose to. And I think it's going to work out just okay. So let's come over here now and go after the Dark Shards. I think that's really where I want to be. I want to go after Dark Shards and just weaken them. I've got my Horse Masters. We'll go after their Dark Riders. I think my Horse Masters are going to win. So I'm using quality. I'm using elite units right now to win this battle. There we go. LAKOR. We've got over here my Chosen. They're tearing through a bunch of Corsairs. They're terrified. See, we've got so much fear and terror. I'm able to do that right now. I'm able to break them. They don't like it, but it is a reality they've got to deal with right now. See, look over here. The Dark Riders, they're getting torn up. I don't like their Dark Shards hitting me, though, so I'm going to have to come over here and beat them up. So, let's see. Let's have my Disciples go after them. We've got my Fen Beasts, who will also come over here. I've got my Fem Guards, who will also go out over there. Actually, they'll come back and go help out my Hell Cannon, which will hopefully stay together. I want them to move. I don't think they're going to move, but we're going to see. Now, I'm taking a lot of damage over here. They are buffed up. They get that buff whenever they kill a certain amount of units, and they get to just say, hey, by the way, we're stronger now because we like killing people. Well, so do I, but I don't need a weak buff. I say a weak buff. Strange way to put that, but it's what I chose to do. Wow. They are dealing a lot of damage. I am very impressed by that. It means I can't just use one Lord to topple all of my enemies. You know how that goes whenever you get to use one Lord and just beat everyone. It's fun, it's great, but it's not a challenge, so I don't really mind having that extra layer of challenge. Okay, let's go after a few more of them. It looks like we've beaten most of them. We'll go after whoever's really left right now. I'm gonna bring back LAKOR. Their leader is where? Right there. Okay, a Death Hag. Oh, no wonder. That's probably why they're dealing so much damage. My Hell Cannon crew, they're holding up right now. The Fen Beasts, they're over here chasing after that Sorceress too. We'll send them after some other broken group. But look at that. They couldn't beat me. Why? Because again, I've got elite units. I kind of wish I was fighting the Empire, because imagine fighting like a full stack of Imperial units right now with a bunch of elite chosen. You don't usually get to do that. You usually end up getting your elite units, and then your enemies have theirs too, so you don't always get to feel like a badass, slaughtering everyone. So, to me, it's a lot of fun to be able to do that. I need to actually cancel my shots. I just took some friendly fire. Not like a huge deal. It's not going to end my game. And again, if there's like any mistakes I made or do make, it's not a big deal. It's a learning process. If I get corrected, I'll try to amend those issues in the future. If I forget to, who knows? In a future campaign, I'll amend those problems and we'll be okay. I'm all about just kind of taking it easy, man. Taking it easy, enjoying myself, and telling a little bit of a story here and there. We're gonna have our cinematic battles once we have like a really epic battle. It's just that I don't want to do it for every battle, because I know some people like to kind of see how I command fights, and it's a good learning experience too. So again, they were coming towards me. I was able to use my Hell Cannon to dictate the range, and that was really the crux of my plan. The kind of, oh hello, linchpin of it all. So you finally broke. We've got over here that Death Hag. LAKOR's got it. I'm still buffing him up. We've got a few other units who are doing their thing. I'll go and use my AI to kind of just go after whoever else. Now, these Horse Masters, look at them. They've got a Frenzy. They've got over here what? A bonus when fighting infantry. They killed over 100. They're incredibly powerful. They're one of the more powerful mounted units I'll have to use. And we're done now. We beat them. It wasn't too difficult. That was a good one, I think. 235 lost. Okay. A marginal amount. Acceptable losses. I love the art over here. I always like to look at it. Go, hey, that's pretty good. So I'll do it now. Hey, that's pretty good. Alright, Yandis, you're gone, and we have Albion now. The Dark Master has done it. Now we can pick up the first Daemon Prince. LAKOR, the Dark Master, is the first Daemon Prince of Chaos and Father and Shadow to the current ever-chosen Archaon. I'll do my own thing, thank you. But there we go, so we get more magic now. So I'll want to certainly grab some magic, just because I've got so much of it, I'll be able to use. Oh yeah, I'll have a lot. Okay, so people, sure, are unhappy. That's alright, we're just going to take our time over here. At level 3, I'll be able to pick up the Barrows of Albion, providing for me Albion Barrow Wights, an undead unit. What else do we have over here? I haven't gotten to really like look at too much of what we have right now. More soldiers, more elites. Okay, yeah, so I've got to worry about that, which is fine. What's over here? We've got the Fem Snare. We want, what? Belfiend Apprentices, Harpies too, or Beasts. We could build up our dirt mounds. Now, I do like doing that early on just to kind of keep the peace, to do our own thing. We've got a temple, we've got slums over here, anything for public order, anything to kind of keep the happiness up. A treasure chest is pretty good. We get food, we get growth, we get some income. I mean, that all adds up so quickly. It's good stuff. A kidnapper's den would make the Dark Elves like me by 1, so you could stack that up and have them love you over time. Now, here's a temple. This, to me, is pretty important because, again, look at that. We need more corruption. We need more happiness. We get more public order for every faction we fight. Every neighboring faction. We've got details here we've got to watch out for. So we've got a few commandments, too, that we need to look at. Public order. We've got taxes over here. We've got growth. You know what? I'll take that. Bewitchment. We'll take that. So, now we just get to chill out. Because we also need to think about where we want to go to next. And as a reminder, I've got to replenish a bit of my Hell Cannon's ammo, so I can't just use that back to back. Our fatigue, well, that's an issue too, so you can't just like dive in as deeply as you would like. And dear God, are there meant to be so many slavers over here? I guess so. I don't know too much about every event mod I have or everything out there, but I don't want to fight them because there's a lot of them. But now we have all of Albion, so we want to turn that into our headquarters. I'm fine with the current name that we have right now, but we are done for the moment. We're about to have a new rebellion. They'll probably go over to the Dark Temple. I'll need to watch out for them. Hopefully they won't attack onto the same turn, but they could. And we do have neighboring factions that we could talk to, like over here, the Rot Blood Tribe. However, it looks like they hate me. Oh dear. A lot hate me. Right, because of, again, what I have going on. So people aren't going to like me a lot. I'm going to be alone. I could also go after some elves over here. I've got options on what I could go after. It's really about what type of benefits I want to gain, where I could conquer and keep the peace. I could just conquer some, I don't know, Norscan lands and easily keep some high corruption. I mean, look at my strength rank. It's very low. I'm going to have to get more. Now, I shouldn't rely on that alone. Not right away. But what I do want at the moment, what I think would be good for me right now, until I get some more recruitment buildings, and look at that, rank 4, I'm going to pick up some humans. I've got to, I think. I want some standard humans. They're going to fight for me. And while we're over here, we're just going to expel any dissidents, which means all of my workers are going to be busy. And that does suck, but we're going to take care of it for a little bit. Because once we're done, we're going to have a great base of operations. Now, we are done for now, everyone. If you have enjoyed this, do let me know, and we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. We've got more LAKORing to do. Until then.